All right, back with another trip, another travel vlog. Today is Saturday, January 16th. I just flew nonstop from Boston Logan to Jacksonville, Florida, JAX. And I'm sitting in a parking lot right up the street from the airport. Just picked up my rental vehicle for this trip. I got the F-150 through Alamo, which is owned by Enterprise. Wanted the truck, just did, why not? $55 for the day. Could have got the economy car for $25, but whatever. I wanted the truck. More gas, I don't care about that. So I am in Jacksonville, Florida right now. Flew down, I just wanted to travel. It's been 3 weeks since I traveled, so it's high time I did again. And this is one of those trips where I was just, searching for flights and spending a lot of time looking up flights and options and things to do in different states. And this is one of those trips where I threw 10 things at the wall, and this is what stuck for this particular weekend. Like usual, I worked yesterday, Friday in New Hampshire. I'm working Monday in New Hampshire, and I'm down here in Florida today on Saturday. Life is good. So those of you that follow this channel regularly know how much I love warm weather, how much I love the state of Florida. And I spend a lot of time in Orlando, Tampa, Fort Myers, that area, and still a lot, but not quite as much in like Miami, South Florida area. But north of Orlando, I don't really go that much because the weather's a little bit colder and, the beaches are better down south. Don't get me wrong, there's good beaches in all parts of Florida, but in my book, you can't beat Fort Myers, Southwest Florida area. But anyhow, I wanted to fill in some gaps on this trip, explore some more of like the northern part of Florida, but not the panhandle, like the northern part of the peninsula is what I'm focusing on today. Flew to Jacksonville. I would have flown to Gainesville, but it was way more money. I would have had to connect, and it would have killed half the day on the connection. It's already 1 o'clock in the afternoon as it is. There's only one nonstop flight per day from Boston to Jacksonville right now. Nothing out of Manchester. Price wasn't too bad. The price was decent. It was about $1.50 round trip. But the flight didn't leave as early as I would like. It was scheduled for 8:45. Got down here about just before noon was what was scheduled, but it was delayed 40 minutes. So by the time I pick up the rental vehicle and I'm actually here starting the vlog, it's 1:02 in the afternoon, so daylight's burning. But, oh well, there's no event that I'm going to on this trip. This is a just kick around, explore, see where the day takes me kind of trip. But I want to go west. I want to go and see the Gulf Coast and stand on the shore, Gulf Coast side, which is a little bit of a ride from here, but that's okay. I'm going to start in Cedar Key and just go from there, see where the day takes me. So it's 2.5 hours from here in Jacksonville to Cedar Key. I might see Jacksonville downtown tomorrow or later tonight when it's dark and the beaches in the Jacksonville area, because I've already been to Jacksonville. I've seen this area pretty good on past trips, but I've never been to like any of that like northern West Coast Gulf side of Florida. I haven't really been anywhere north of Tampa. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on. I just was looking at maps on the plane because the flight I was on today had free Wi-Fi. And I said, oh, Cedar Key looks like a good starting point. And I'm going to drive through a couple of interesting things on the way that I'll show you when we get there. So let's go. Alright, so quick update. It's a little while later, not that much longer later. I'm on Interstate 10 West. Coming out of Jacksonville. I'm going to hit Route 301 South, which is going to go through Lottie, Florida, and end up in Gainesville. And I'll just keep going through Gainesville to Cedar Key, and I'll probably have dinner in Gainesville later, I'm thinking. But the reason Route 301 in Lottie, Florida is significant, it's one of the worst speed traps in the U.S. So I'm going to put the cruise control on for like a couple miles under the speed limit going through there. I kind of just want to see the place. It's notorious. Like, you can Google or YouTube more about it, but AAA even put out a billboard as you enter town saying, warning, speed trap town, slow down. Paid for by AAA. So, I mean, you can read more into, I mean, I think it's not as bad as it used to be from what I read on the plane, but it's, you can read more about it if you want to. But gonna drive through and see it, because, you know, I could make it right on the way, which is exactly what I did, so let's go. Just entered Lottie, Florida Route 301, headed south. This is the speed trap town. I didn't see the billboard that AAA paid for, because that's been gone for 5 or 6 years now, but it was there for like 20-something years. Speed limit's 45, I'm going 44. So this is the one, the worst speed trap in the US, or what it was known for quite some time. I put my phone down for a second there because there was a cop parked at the gas station in a parking space. I think he was inside the store, but why chance it? If they pull you over for the worst speed trap in the US, I'm sure they'd have no problem pulling me over for vlogging and driving. So now we're getting out of town. It's back up to 65. I'm still going to be real careful. I'm going to go like 63 here. So I don't know what it is about these small towns on Route 301 in North Florida, but there's another one of them towns that's a notorious speed trap. I can't remember the dang name of it. I'll look it up in a little while. But there's another one about, I don't think it's 10 or 15 miles south on this road. And they were the same thing as Lottie, Florida. Notorious speed trap designed for nothing but revenue. And what happened there was the whole police department was disbanded. I think it was about 10 years ago or so. You can look it up if you want to know more. If you read about Lottie, Florida, you'll find all this stuff. I read it. I kind of remembered Lottie, Florida, because I'd come across it somewhere in the past. And I read about it on the plane today. The flight I was on had Wi-Fi, so I spent about a half hour reading about, you know, this whole thing down here and the scam they had going for a while. I mean, I'm sure it's still going to some extent. But this next town we're coming into, or a couple towns south of here, same thing, notorious speed trap. They disbanded the entire police department because the Florida, I think it's called the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and State Police, like some state agency in Florida, did an investigation and determined there was corruption going on with the whole ticket thing there. So, yeah, I don't know what it is about these parts. Passing through Gainesville, Florida, just stopped at Dollar Tree because I felt like a snack. Didn't want to spend the time for a full meal because daylight's burning. 20-ounce brand name soda for $1. I don't know, I had a craving for peanut butter pretzels for some reason. So that's what I got. I'm going to hit the road in a minute here. This is Cedar Key, Florida. Just walked around at the beach in the public park. Really nice place. Free parking on street. Past the time on the ride here, I had an hour and 10-minute conversation on the phone with a friend. And that really passes the time, talking on the phone while you're driving. It's 5:31 in the evening. Sun's already going down. I wish I would have got in earlier today. That flight didn't get me in until almost 1. But anyhow, so I'm going to go, there's a boardwalk trail right up the street from here, also in Cedar Key. So I'm going to head off and do that real quick while it's still daylight. So this is called Cemetery Point Boardwalk. It's in Cedar Key, Florida, where I just was, just right up the street a little ways. Looked pretty cool on the map. Let's go check it out. Yeah, nice to have the truck. It is. It is. It's about 57 degrees. Warmest it got today, according to the thermometer in the truck, was 60. Not too bad for January. I swear I've been having the coldest weather the last few trips to Florida. Like today it could be warmer. Christmas was just something else down here. Refer to that video if you haven't seen it. But I'm coming back to Florida in 3 weeks in early February for a concert in Orlando. And it better be nice then. I'm due for some warm weather. But I can't complain. It's still outdoors in January. It's almost 60. Well, there's why it's called Cemetery Point. Boardwalk ended into a park area. Really nice here, and I'm the only one here. I got the whole place to myself. I love Florida. Alright, so I'm heading out of town from Cedar Key. Great little spot. It's just, oh, it's awesome. The truck was still in drive. I had my foot on the brake. I'm pulled over. Really nice place. There's some residential, some like condos and beach stuff, but no high rises. Nice little town. I would definitely come back here and go to the beach when the weather was warmer. I mean, it's the northern part of Florida. And look on a map, Cedar Key. There's one way in, one way out. Highly recommend it. Good time. I walked around 3 different places, vlogged some of it. And now I'm headed to Cross City, Florida, which is north of here. Still on the coast, west coast, Gulf side of Florida. Just more exploring some rural areas, and then I think it's called Horseshoe Beach. There's another town kind of like this, but maybe a little smaller, it looked on the map. So I'm gonna head up there. It's 6:30 in the evening. It's dark now, or just about dark. But I'm still gonna explore some more. That's kind of what I get for having a midday flight instead of a morning flight like usual, but that was all I could get to the airport I wanted to arrive into. So yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling and get on the road. Cross City, Florida, Horseshoe Beach, coming up next. And this is a really nice, like, rural part of Florida. I will say this. I'm, wearing my camo hoodie, camo Florida lottery hat, and driving the F-150. I'm fitting right in. I love it. And I'm listening to a really cool radio station called US 102.3. It comes in here. I think it's based out of, like, Ocala, I think it's based out of Ocala, but it markets itself like Ocala, Gainesville. But half country, half rock. It's awesome. Like, good old rednecks like me love that kind of music. I've really been enjoying it. It's been a really nice day riding around, and it's gonna just keep on rolling. Obviously, I'm sleeping here in the truck tonight. You probably guessed that if you watch these videos regularly. And I have a 12 noon flight home out of Jacksonville tomorrow, which is 2.5 hours away from here. And yeah, that's about it for now. I'll check in along the road. Alright, so I'll be the first to admit it. I did not do a very good job vlogging today. Most of what you've seen so far is me sitting here in the truck. And the little bit you saw of me not sitting in the truck was in Cedar Key, Levy County, Florida. I drove north from there, and from Levy County into Dixie County, saw some more of Florida, drove through Cross City. Like, these are the real, like, redneck parts of Florida, and I love it. I fit right in the truck, and my camo hat and hoodie. Real nice part of the country down here. And then I did some more driving, ended up in Lake City, Florida. Got a Little Caesars pizza for dinner. It's on the floor down there. I already ate it because I was hungry. And now I'm at a rest area on the highway, I-10 eastbound, and this is about 15 miles east of Lake City, Florida. It's about 40 miles outside Jacksonville. Or 40 minutes, something like that. I think it's like 40 minutes outside Jacksonville. I'm sitting up in North Florida on I-10. Gonna do a little more driving tonight, find a rest area closer to Jacksonville to sleep in, because my flight's at noon tomorrow out of Jacksonville back home. And I want to see a little bit of the Jacksonville area, like some of the beaches and areas I haven't been to when it's daylight. So I'm gonna have a couple hours of daylight tomorrow before I have to get to the airport. So I'm gonna make the most of that. It's a few minutes later. It is 12:40 a.m. I'm in downtown Jacksonville. Was cruising through on the highway on the way to that rest area that's closest to the beaches. And I was like, you know what? I want to see Jacksonville. Let's cruise around. Yes, I have been to Jacksonville downtown before, but not for almost 2 years. So I'm like, yeah, let's go downtown. I doubt I'll get out and walk around, but I'm going to drive around. Oh, look how cool this bridge is. Tall buildings right over it. See, I could have just blown past this on the interstate and gone to the rest area and gone to sleep, but I'm like, no, because that's not how you, that's how you do things, is what I'm doing right now. It's like, yeah, let's do it. Any day now, traffic light. There's the monorail we just went under. Downtown Jacksonville has a monorail system. Yeah. It's not really a big enough city for that kind of public transportation. There's one of the stations right there. I have ridden on it before. You can Google it and read about it, but it was a big mistake to build it financially and otherwise. You can read all about it. That'd be easier than me trying to explain it if you're interested. But here's the tracks. Still, you know, up here. It is 2:19 a.m. I'm at a highway rest area on Interstate 95, about 20 miles south of Jacksonville. Had a really good time exploring downtown Jacksonville in the truck. Then came down here because this is the closest rest area to where I want to go in the morning, off to the coast east of Jacksonville. And yeah, 2:19 in the morning, and this trip, unlike just about all others, this is very rare. I'm not tired. Not the least bit tired. I feel like I could drive all night if I wanted to. Drove several, I don't know exactly, probably drove 300 miles today. I'm wide awake, which is unusual. I didn't do anything special, didn't like have energy drinks or coffee or nothing. Not that stuff ever seems to affect me anyway. But I just went to the highway exit closest to here. I got a couple of dollar menu cheeseburgers at McDonald's, $1.09 actually, but who's keeping track? Just felt like a snack, and then I went into Circle K, which was about across the street from, like, a little ways up. It's like same highway exit as the McDonald's, because I wanted a fountain drink, 79-cent Circle K fountain drink here in Florida. I think the price varies across the U.S., but in Florida, it's always 79 cents for a fountain drink at Circle K. And I go in there and get my drink, and I'm at the counter to pay, and I have a dollar bill in my hand. It's like 80 some odd cents, 79 plus tax. And the guy is like, man, I don't want to take, the guy was probably 50 something. It's like, man, I don't want to take that. I don't want to count out all that change. And he's like, that only costs a nickel. I'm like, what do you mean it costs a nickel? He's like, yeah, I mean, you don't have any change. It's only 5 cents. And I'm like, well, maybe I have one in the truck. So I came out to the truck, and I have been throwing my change in the center console. So I did have a nickel. I brought it back in, gave the guy a nickel, and he tossed it into, like, there was like some like charity thing on the counter, like that you could throw your change into for charity, and he tossed it right in there. And he's like, you know, in 1930, that used to cost a nickel. I'm acting like it's 1930. It's only 5 cents. And I thanked him, and I walked back out. I was like, okay. If I counted up on my travels all the times I've either gotten something for free or deeply discounted, it will be a long list. I mean, maybe that's just because I travel so much, but it will be a long list. Oh, I'm in a good mood. Just hanging out in the truck. It's good to, it's good. It's just, let me just say that. I know I'm rambling. It's probably because I'm tired, even though I don't feel like I'm tired, but I'm rambling. Find what you enjoy and just do it. Like my trips, all this travel, just do it. Don't put it off. Don't think, oh, I'll get around to doing the things I want to do at some point. Just do it now. Alright, I've rambled enough. I'm going to get some sleep. I'm lying down. It's hard to see it because it's dark. Dome lights on, but I'm lying down on the back seat of the crew cab F-150. Quite comfortable. That's one advantage of the truck for sure over the car, is a very big roomy back seat to sleep on. I don't have a blanket or anything. I got the heat on in the truck. It's not that warm out. Look what the temperature is. Okay, so it's 36 degrees right now in Florida. I mean, this is the north part of Florida, so it's not near as tropical as, like, Orlando and south, and like Fort Myers or anything like that. But yeah, it's 36. All right, I'm gonna stop rambling and go to sleep. So thank you so much for watching this vlog. I really do appreciate those of you that watch these videos on a regular basis. Alright, I'll see you guys in the morning. It'll be the same video. Good morning. It is 7:48 a.m. I slept about, roughly speaking, 5 hours. And for the most part, it was pretty good sleep. I feel rested and ready for the day. Yeah, these pickup trucks, man, these pickup trucks are my favorite rental vehicle to sleep in. Because it's always a crew cab and the back seat's always roomy and comfortable. Just went into, let me turn the camera. Highway rest area on 95, about 20 miles south of Jacksonville. Just went inside and washed my face. I honestly feel like I could use a shower, but my flight home is in 4.5 hours, so I'm not going to bother with that. By the time I, went to the truck stop and actually, took a shower and all that, it would just kill too much time. I have stuff to see, so I am going to get to it. Out on the highway, one thing I forgot to mention, that rest area I just slept at is the same one I took a brief nap at in May of 2019 on that trip where I was driving from Fort Myers to Raleigh, pretty much straight through to make a flight in Raleigh. That trip was an interesting one, and there is a vlog from it. If you're curious, go back and look it up. I think it's called Driving from Fort Myers to Raleigh. This neighborhood is called Sawgrass. I'm driving through the beaches, like south to north, the whole Jacksonville beaches area. And this is just like multi-million-dollar homes. Really nice neighborhood that I'll never be able to afford to live in. Well, most people won't. But just amazing homes. And then the beach is like right over here behind these houses on the right. It's right there. Kind of hard to see it though. Getting a little bit further north, this is Jacksonville Beach that I'm coming into. And this is more like your regular, normal beach town in Florida. And I like it so far. I'm gonna be seeing the beach in a minute here. It's 41 degrees, so that's why it's not crowded. And this is the far northern part of Florida, and it is January, so that's... Now, you want beach weather in January, you gotta go down to like Fort Myers, Miami area. Alright, sitting in a public municipal parking lot very close to the center of Jacksonville Beach. Gonna get out and walk on the beach a little bit, even though it's only 41 out. 8:35 in the morning, 41 degrees, but still warmer than back home. I have, let's see, I have about 2.5 hours before I have to be back at the airport for my flight. It's about 35 minutes to the airport from here. The thing about Jacksonville, it's so big. It's one of the biggest cities. It might even be the biggest city in the U.S. Not in terms of population, but in terms of land area. It's just so massive. Like on the highway, you can drive from downtown Jacksonville on the interstate pretty much any direction for like 20 miles and you're still in Jacksonville city limits. It's crazy big. Parking's free. There are pay and display parking machines here, but they're covered up with garbage bags, so it's free. Let's go. This is... So this is a fishing pier, but it's closed for construction, obviously. And I got a big smile on my face walking on the beach, even when it's 40 degrees. I just love Florida. I don't know, something about jeans and sneakers on the beach don't feel right. So keep in mind, like I've been saying, it's about 41 degrees. A big group of people just showed up. Some are wearing wetsuits, some are not, and they're all going for a swim. I think that's awesome. Alright, so I'm hurrying off to get somewhere because I only have a couple hours before I have to be to the airport. I'll explain that in a few minutes. But just wanted to show you, this is all still Jacksonville. Like I said, it's huge in terms of square miles. Gantry cranes on the right. A lot of shipping comes in and out of here. And big old bridge crossing a little river here. It's not so little, actually pretty decent sized river here. Cool looking bridge. I really do like the Jacksonville area. I mean, I love Florida. The state of Florida is like... I mean, I joke about, you know, that it's my future home state because I am planning on moving down here. I still call New Hampshire home for now, but I will be in Florida one of these days. That's another story for another time. Look at that big shipping port. Holy crap, that is big. Wow, that is a big container terminal. I'm trying to drive, look at the container terminal and vlog at the same time. Oh, and there's more over here. Look at that. Oh, right when I think it's big, there's a whole other side over here. Wow. All those intermodal containers that they can throw on a ship, a truck, or a train. It'd be a cool job to have, operating one of those gantries. I found this on a whim because I know you can drive on, there's a beach near, either in or near Daytona you can drive on, which is only a couple hours from here. And I was like, I wonder if Jacksonville has that. So I Googled it. And sure enough, there's one. This is the only one in the Jacksonville area you can drive on. Had just enough time to do it. Okay, that was cool. I don't know if you can hear it on the video, but I love the sound of these Ford V8s whining. There's some people fishing over there, so I'll give them plenty of room. So the sand is easier to drive on when you're closer to the water because it's wet and more packed down. It's a lot looser out here where it's dry. So I am gonna stay a little bit closer to the water. Not that I'm worried about it, but I mean, I gotta be at the airport in 30 minutes. I don't have time to get stuck and have to dig out or anything. And this is a great way to close out the trip. That was really fun, even though I only had about 25 minutes to spend there before the airport. That was very enjoyable. I want to come back, and I will, in the summer. And, you know, actually go to the beach and park the truck, like, right on the beach while I'm, like, you know, swimming and stuff. So that'll be fun. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to open it up and, like, do some donuts and really see what the truck could do. But the whole time I was there was a park ranger in a golf cart going around. I don't know what he was doing. It looked like he was emptying trash bins or something. But he was basically within sight the entire time, and they had a 5-mile-an-hour speed limit. And I kept waiting for him to leave so I could really open it up, and he never did. So that's just another reason to come back. But it was fun. Great way to close out the trip. I'm headed up back towards the airport. It's 10:27 a.m. My flight's, I think my flight's at like 12:15. I don't even know. I remember telling myself I needed to be at the airport about 11:15. So, no stress about time today. I've only missed one flight ever in my entire, you know, so many flights that I've traveled over the years. Sorry about that. Thought that was a cop, because I'm vlogging and driving, obviously, but it wasn't. Anyway, I only missed one flight ever, and it was because I overslept. Alright, so I'm right up the street from the airport. I'll end the video here. One thing I will mention about the Jacksonville area, it's very easy to drive in. Big, wide, open streets where people generally go kind of fast. Not a whole lot of traffic. I mean, it was the weekend today and yesterday, and I think it was the weekend the last time I was in Jacksonville, but very easy place to get around, and car dependent because it's huge, but I like it down here. So thank you guys for watching another video. The regular viewers, I appreciate you guys. And as always, I will see you guys soon in another one. I'll be traveling again soon, like always. Today's flight home is JetBlue nonstop, Jacksonville to Boston Logan. And I will see you guys in the next one. I live in the Manchester, New Hampshire area, by the way, if those of you who didn't know that.